Yeah.
Yeah, that's more like it.
G&G is back. It's official. Did you miss us? Because we missed you. Flying high like a missile. Coming through like the down of a thistle. This ain't Santa Claus, but I'm coming down your chimney, bringing that fire. So just give me the mic one time so I do it real strong. Episode 23 and we can't go wrong. Grace and Glory about to tell you about a story, and we came, ain't no one was before me or after. We about to give you another chapter. Open up the book, we'll give you knowledge and some laughter. Give you life game, help you get your mind right, help you get your tribe right, and get your insight. At the same time, we just gon' take flight. I'm not a mouse, but I come with that might, mighty. Hey, coming from that T-O-L-E-D-O, and also Cincinnati. Ohio, say what up, we'll gladly hit you with another hot podcast. And you know it's gonna last like some old Keith Sweat song singing. Hey, episode 23 is what we bringing. It's official. It's official. G&G is back. Yeah, we missed you. Did you miss us? Yeah, we missed you. G&G is back. It's official. G&G is back. It's official. G&G is back. It's official. Fade it, fade it, fade it, fade it, fade it. It's official. Yeah, we made it. Yeah. You can't hate it. Fade it. You can't hate it. I'm a grown man now. But when I was a young boy, my father sat me down. He said, son, I'm gonna tell you like my father told me. Well, as long as you got some grits, you'll never go hungry. This is the Grits and Glory Podcast, episode 23. Prepare to be fed.
23.
Kind of like one of the greatest.
That's that Jordan number.
Oh, I was gonna say LeBron.
Oh, okay. Well.
That's a timeless debate. We might have to jump into that debate.
On
this one at some
Jordan
time.
was first, 23.
Sure.
It's
He's the
LeBron
original.
now.
He's the original.
If you don't mind, really quick, I just talked to somebody about this today. The best part about being a hockey fan is it's undoubtedly Wayne Gretzky's the best, and we never have to have the argument again. Like I was talking to somebody who's
Gretzky is the best.
Gretzky's the best, and hockey fans never argue about it.
Really?
It's very, very strange.
So
What about Gordie Howe or Mario Lemieux?
Lemieux.
Well, so what's crazy is Gretzky says that Gordie Howe is the best, so it doesn't even matter. Because when the best tells you who the best is, it's settled there too.
What about Yager? What about
yeah.
Nope, they don't come close.
Iserman?
Nope.
One of the Red Wings?
Nope.
No?
Gordie Howe and Wayne Gretzky, and that's it.
Gretzky had a cartoon though, like, you know.
Y'all hear how I sped off like
I
a good amount of hockey names
I was quite
right
impressed.
Yeah.
I was impressed.
Hey,
I don't know none of them names.
I'm glad you took. I was gonna go spit them with you, man. I mean, like, you know,
That's kudos.
But
kudos to the NHL games on Genesis.
it just yeah. Remember that?
Throwback.
Oh my gosh,
Throwback.
that's a great game.
You'll check a dude and he'll make his head bleed.
Yeah.
He'll fall out, his head will bleed, and the little ambulance have to skate out and come get him.
Yeah, hockey in the early Genesis is the thing.
Like the old Madden, like that was the greatest thing when you hurt the player and made the
back when
ambulance.
I was
made the ambulance come out and pick him up on the field and ride off.
Oh
with
man,
him.
like that's what the goal was, right?
Yeah. Now we got concussion protocol.
Yeah, it's not funny though.
No, it's probably needed. Okay. Hey, welcome to the podcast, everybody. I am your host, Juan Grits.
Wow.
The beautiful voices that you've heard here so far are Mr. SB Shawn B, a.k.a. Poppy the Troll King.
You keep on sticking that name.
A.k.a. Well, you got to come up with another nickname on here.
Nah,
A.k.a. the Black Don Draper.
I told you to call me. That was from earlier, though. That was from earlier.
Yeah,
that's good.
I snuck that one in.
I got you. Black Don.
Black Don. The Black Don Draper.
I think I'll go with Black Don.
So we have SB here. We also have the righteousness, the wisdom, the truth, the wise oak.
That's the culture, bro.
The Ghanaian Super Saiyan, the African American,
The double A.
Mr. EA in the building.
What's going on?
Yeah, man.
The voice. We appreciate having you here. And of course, starting us off with some deep hockey knowledge, was producer Matt, keeping us honest. Gonna give us our stats and everything. So we're gonna get into it. We got some new segments for you. So we're gonna start with get some insight, and this is where we just get some insight on what's been on our mind lately, what's been going on in pop culture, what's going on around here. So, Mr. SB,
we were talking earlier, man, and I just want to big up Tiger Woods. Okay, like he won
all good, y'all.
Yeah,
Tiger
Woods is all good, man. That made me feel good over the weekend. The fact that he won his another green jacket, and he looks to be all the way back, man. You know, growing up, Tiger Woods was like, it wasn't so much like the fact that he was breaking the like perceived culture or color barrier in golf, but everybody wanted to be Tiger Woods. Like if you went to go play golf, if you understand the culture of golf. My grandmother actually used to watch golf when I was little. So, it'd be on TV.
Okay, so can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Okay, so you said everybody wanted, it's not about color or breaking the color barrier, but everyone wants to be Tiger Woods, right?
Well, at one point in time.
Why did everyone want to be Tiger Woods? Why do you think everyone wanted to be?
Because he was doing something that was very hard to do at a young age. I mean, it was more like a genius level of golf and focus. He represented discipline. He represented winning. You know, he represented style, and he had a
style.
Yeah, Nike. I mean, Nike bought in to Tiger Woods very early. Sure. So I mean, young people were exposed to Tiger Woods.
Sure, but this is what I'm saying. Is it
so naturally you're naturally gonna want to aspire to that?
Was it his youthfulness?
I think it was a combination of that. Yeah,
it was his youthfulness.
Yeah, in the
that
game
made
of
people
golf.
Want to be like Tiger.
Not only was Tiger like,
and he was with Nike.
Yeah, it was all of that at the same time. I mean, you can Google it now, but like I'm remembering it as I was growing up.
So what made him attractive to Nike?
I think a little bit of everything that I just mentioned.
Youthfulness.
Yeah, they could sell the brand off of like a sports icon at that point in time.
Okay, EA, you sound like you was about to say something.
You said, I mean, I was listening to everything you're saying. I believe everything you said completely. But I just, as of me, I watched it because he was a young person of color doing his thing in a sport that was predominantly
young black man, breaking
young
the color barrier.
You know what I mean? And I'm not saying that all those things weren't, didn't apply. You know what I mean? But I think that was like the first thing that I noticed.
I think that didn't need to be like said. I think that's the thing. But look. There's like, put it to you like this. Tiger Woods is a global brand, right? Mm. And whether you're black, right?
Mm.
But if you can impact not only your perceived culture, but then the globe, that's like huge. And you have to have a combination of things for that to happen in my mind. You have to win but naturally anything that black folks do in an area that they're not used to doing is going to be talked about for those who pay attention. Like they're the first black astronaut woman, I can't even recall her name. I know that was a barrier broken, but it wouldn't be like focused. It's focused on, but like Tiger Woods is deeper than that. I think it's past the color barrier.
I hear what you're saying, so two things. Mm-hmm. One, when you first started out, you said, outside of the
outside all of that, I think we got kind of caught in there,
piece, right? But what I'm saying is, and I get the point that most, I get the point that most, I get the point that most African American celebrities or athletes. Why are we saying African American? Most black celebrities.
You saying it because you conditioned.
Most black celebrities.
You conditioned, brother. That's why you saying
it. I did. I was conditioned.
Even your conditioning is conditioned.
It's conditioned.
Now let's get into it.
All right. So I need to break out of that. So
Macy Jemison.
May Jemison.
May. And her middle name starts with a C, Jemison.
Right. Everybody calls her May Jemison.
Now, see, we had to look that up.
First black
That's
female.
My point. Like,
first black female astronaut.
Okay.
May C. Jemison.
Okay. So,
shout out to May.
Good. But she's not Tiger Woods. I mean, she's an astrophysicist, but she's not like Tiger Woods. Tiger Woods has the global appeal in a culture that...
She's better than Tiger Woods.
In your opinion?
All right, but here... Let me
Too bad nobody knows who she is.
I hear what you're saying, but let me stay with the point. Why do we know who Tiger Woods is? Okay. And so in most cases,
Marketing.
most cases in most other sports where they are dominated by black athletes like football, basketball,
Oh, man.
you have to have, the black athlete has to have some talent or some other multi-dimensions.
Dominated by
To be-
population or skill.
Right, but he has to have some other attributes or multi-dimensions to be a star athlete.
I
to be
think
a
you're
star
saying
in
what
his
I was
sport-
saying.
in
There's
his
a
sport.
lot of things that
That's
made
what
him
you
who
were
you are.
saying.
Absolutely.
Correct. And that applies to the black athlete in general. But when it comes to Tiger Woods,
I don't know.
that doesn't apply, because this is what I'm saying. If Tiger Woods was white, he would not be a big deal.
I agree.
He has no personality.
He wouldn't be Jordan Spieth.
He has no style and no swag. The only style that he has is the swoosh that he wears. Like he has no style or swag. He made
swag to all those ladies he
made
was,
he made a
dealing with.
he made a semi corny look hot
So
because
you
he was a
saying
winner.
he was like Russell Wilson?
Yes, that's exactly what he is. That's he Russell
I think
Wilson
you-
has
I think-
more
I think
color
you just-
and
I think you
and
just calling- I think you
personality
just calling him
than
corny.
Tiger Woods.
Yeah, he definitely.
I think you
does.
just calling him
No,
corny.
this is what I'm saying. I'm making the point that the only reason why Tiger Woods means this much to the culture is because he's black. That's it.
Is it like your argument about Eminem?
Yes. I don't
So
think
Tiger
I've done-
Woods and
I don't think I've
Eminem
made
are
the-
equal.
I don't think I made the no. I don't think I made the Eminem argument publicly.
I'm busting you out
You did bust me out.
since we
But
going
no,
there.
you know,
Is it kind of like
no, because
equivalent?
um
Eminem would not be.
no, so there's
There was
different
just a-
levels. There's different levels in the rap game.
Okay.
So when we talk about hip hop, you have what your cultural.
You saying if Tiger Woods wasn't black, he wouldn't be Tiger Woods?
He wouldn't.
No,
Well, who would he be?
I mean,
he'd be
Jack
Jordan,
Nicklaus?
He'd be Jordan Spieth.
Would he be Jack Nicklaus?
He'd be Jordan Spieth or something like that. One of those guys.
He'd be. I
What
see
are you
you're saying.
talking about? He would be
he's-
Jack
he'd be
He'd be
Nicklaus.
Jack
then.
Nicholas.
But
That's who he
wouldn't-
is on the heels of.
Okay,
But see, but
he
Jack
wouldn't have brought
Nicklaus-
Jack Nicholson didn't bring a bunch of people that weren't into golf.
Yes, he absolutely did.
But I don't think
No.
Jack Nicklaus.
Not from a different culture. Not
Oh,
different
okay. We're
races,
going to agree
different-
to disagree on this one because we're only supposed to. I mean, look, he was on the cover of Sports Illustrated. The only reason that he is that big and that we know who he is because he brought that many people into golf.
Are you talking about Jack Nicholas or Tiger Woods?
Nicholas? It's everybody.
No.
Whoever look.
Jack Nicholas is known for what he is because he's decorated.
Okay,
I
look,
tell you
this
this:
is-
if it weren't
let
for
me-
Tiger
all right,
Woods,
I'm gonna let you finish.
probably wouldn't know who Jack Nicholas is.
No, that's not true.
The only reason why you know Jack Nicholas is because Tiger is on the heels of his records. And this is why I'm saying, when I say you, I'm not saying specifically you, Shawn. I'm
general.
saying the general public, the average person.
I disagree.
The average person did not pay attention to
disagree.
golf until Tiger Woods.
Look,
That's why the golf.
That's
the
why
entire
golf
house
blew up
suffered when he was gone.
When
that's why golf suffered when he was gone. That's why everyone's so excited that he's back.
I don't disagree. I said marketing was a big part of it. When Griffey, when all of those athletes, they were in a time of pop culture. Popular culture makes brands huge. They did it for rap. It did it for rap. Your argument for this argument is like, you know, we wouldn't know who these street rappers are if it wasn't for a marketing machine behind them. Pop culture has a lot to do with what we consume and what people pay attention to.
But
And
what
so-
makes
and
him
it was the right
relevant
time.
in pop culture? What makes Tiger Woods relevant in
And
pop culture?
he had, when he came in, he had a youth appeal. Like, he brought in not only those who wouldn't normally watch golf. And if you're talking
His
about
youth appeal outweighed his black appeal?
I think so.
No, sir.
No, Ron, how many black golfers have there been since Tiger Woods?
I couldn't tell you.
I don't know.
Okay, you don't know. So I mean, I think
There's
your
the women,
argument.
they're women. I know.
Professional.
Okay,
How many
okay.
black professional golfers? I don't know.
Okay, how many-
But I know a lot of black
are we
people
talking
that got
about
interested in golf or started golfing after Tiger Woods.
Well, how are you measuring
and
impact?
I'm sure he opened up the amount of black folks that got entered in.
This is what I'm
allowed in
saying.
the country clubs and into the
You're
culture
sure,
of golf.
You're sure. You're sure.
Yeah, I
but
don't
I
have
mean,
any
it's like, how do you
statistics. We're just
measure? How do you
talking
measure
generally.
impact? I mean, I don't know. I'm thinking that this conversation kind of got away from what I'm saying. He won
Okay.
he
What
won
do
a
you
green he won a green jacket, and to put, I think what I hear you saying and what I feel like I was gonna say is that even though I don't think the black community kind of mess with Tiger, you know, we do track Tiger.
Oh, we do.
And
we mess with Tiger.
No, but we don't mess with him for real. It was like kind of like what you were doing in a few minutes ago.
No.
You were kind of like painting him like, kind of cornball. Why would you?
Yes.
No, look, the black
But
community.
I still love him because he's
Hey, look,
my
you
brother.
kinda-
That's why
you kinda like-
I'm
you kinda
behind
like-
him because he's black.
You kind of like.
It's a lot of cornball brothers
That sounded
I
like
like.
some
Even
OJ
though he
support.
doesn't necessarily say he's, or at least in the
Yeah.
past, he never says he's black.
And so I was going to
Says
touch
a
on
lot
that.
of
So
different
it's,
things.
it's like this. The black community. I've never thought that the black community actually got behind him in particular.
Oh, we did.
We loved the fact that he was winning.
I see what I see what you're saying.
Okay.
You're saying that like they're not like
Come
yeah,
on.
they're not like yeah, that's my
It took
my
Chris
guy.
Rock to say
But because
Tiger Woods,
he's-
y'all. It's all
because
good,
he's
y'all.
black. They're like we're
Come
gonna
on.
see him compete.
All right, this how I know. This how I know y'all both wrong. This
Black
how I know
community
y'all
like
both wrong.
taking
I'm
credit
about to
wherever they
take-
can.
I'm gonna take y'all to a throwback. Back when Chappelle had the skit about the race draft, what happened? The black people drafted Tiger Woods back, and he was
Back?
excited. He was excited to say for shizzle,
But
and
why did they draft him back? though?
and
Why did they
everybody,
draft
here's
him
the
back?
thing. That skit is not funny, and we don't love that skit if black folks don't draft Tiger Woods back.
Back to where look, it's
Because
like
he
this.
doesn't claim us.
I'm gonna say this. The black community is a funny thing because I remember back before Barack was the president, Rush Limbaugh spoke about if he thought that the black community was going to accept Barack because of his biracial background. He goes, is Barack black enough for the black community?
Of course.
The DNC, everybody was backing the Clintons. All right. And now that Barack has been, black people's president, now before he wasn't black enough. And now people forget that he has, a biracial background.
Sure.
They see Michelle. They forget that his mother is Caucasian.
Sure. Sure.
Now, I mean, this is something deep.
Sure.
The black community does this a lot. Now,
Yes, but
the same thing happened with Tiger.
Yes, but I'm gonna put a cap. Let's put a cap on it. Let's put a cap on it like this. I'll put a cap on it like this. The black community, our people are very forgiving,
Forgiving
and
for you
loving
have to-
and celebratory people. For
You have
we
to
don't
be
we don't need
accepted
much.
first.
We don't need much of a reason. No, we don't. Because
Right.
listen,
All right.
we celebrated OJ.
Gonna got his green jacket.
We gonna
Whoopie
we
do.
gonna celebrate with Tiger.
Yeah.
We gonna celebrate. Look, we just gonna celebrate our own. We just gonna celebrate our own.
That's what it comes down
we
to.
had Steve Harvey's back.
That's
when
where
he
I was
messed up
trying to
at
go with it. You
we
were
just
like,
gonna, we
well,
just
let's talk about why did he blow up?
We
I'm
just
like,
gonna love our own.
why.
But that's the whole point. It connects back to my point because my point is the only reason why, like, if he's another color athlete, he's not a big star and he's not that marketable. The reason why he had such a cultural impact was because he was black, and which is the same reason which connects us back to why we all still feel connected to him and we all get so excited when he wins and celebrate it, even if he doesn't necessarily claim or acknowledge his blackness.
And we don't acknowledge him, no, for real. Like we
do
applaud him.
We do. You just did.
Well,
This is the number one black culture podcast.
We
and we spent
applaud
the
him,
first
but
15
come
minutes
on,
of this
man.
podcast talking about Tiger Woods,
yeah.
and we're all excited and celebratory that he came back.
You was
So
like-
black folks, so we absolutely do. When I looked down my timeline, I saw a lot of people, celebrating his Masters win.
Yeah.
But I definitely saw more black folks than white.
You remember when Fuzzy's over
maybe that's just 'cause I
asked
have
him
more
like
black
if he was
friends.
gonna have chicken and collard greens
Right.
when he first won his
He
first
broke the
one.
barrier, man. He broke the barrier.
He was the
Listen,
Jackie Robinson of
Puffy,
golf.
listen, Puffy and Mace wouldn't have done the Mo Money, Mo Problems video with the shiny suits, throw your rollies in the sky, wave them side to side, if it weren't for Tiger Woods.
So he influenced culture.
I'm old. Yeah, I'm old.
Well,
All right,
yeah, man.
so let's get to get your grind right. Get your grind right segment. Let's talk investments. We have to go to our resident, financial strategist.
I'm not a financial strategist.
EA.
Hey, you got to own the title Ron gives you. If Juan Grits gives you one,
Yeah,
you got it.
I'm the man with too many names, so I'm gonna give you 100 monikers.
Okay. All right.
Sir. But no, this is not for legal reasons. He is not a financial strategist.
I'm not.
He
Yeah, I'm
does-
not a financial.
Don't email
advisor.
him.
Yeah.
Yes, he does, but he does
It's
have
all
some
my
knowledge.
opinion.
And we just need to talk about and think about investing more. And my man has some knowledge. So
Man.
you're in the crypto game. Is that where your head's at right now, or you thinking something else? What you thinking, EA?
I'm trying to keep my mind open on everything. You know, you said it best a while back. You said that the revolution is financial,
Absolutely.
right? And so, and if that's the case, then I need to be, you know, cognizant of how my money is, you know, how I spend my money, how I save my money, how I bring money in, and how it's invested in the different channels that are available. You know, so, you know, yeah, I got my crypto investments and blockchain investments, which, you know, in my opinion, I know we talked about it a while back. Like, I don't understand. No, I'm lying. I do understand, but it's really kind of sad to see how it's a avenue, or it's an area which is very, very new. I mean, it's only 10 years old, in which, if you think about it, the fact that somebody developed something in their basement or in their garage, and 10 years later, it's as big as it is now. People don't think it's big, but when you look at, you know, companies like JP Morgan or IBM, or just recently Ernst & Young, you know, working on a blockchain project to be built on Ethereum, which is a very, very popular blockchain project. I think it's the second largest. I don't know, like worth $15 billion or something like that. It lets you see how this whole arena is expanding. But, you know, I think the statistics, how many people are on the planet?
Like 6 billion.
Billion?
Like that, yeah. 6
billion? And there's only 25 million people who are actually investing right now. 25 million out of 6 billion. So that just, I mean, it shows you where it's at. And if you take it more into a little bit more of some pop culture, or, you know, we all know, you know, Nipsey passed a few weeks ago. A couple of years ago, he had spoke about an investment in cryptocurrency.
He was in that real early. Like he was following that and speaking about it real early.
And he said it best in this interview. You can look it up on YouTube. Look up Nipsey Hussle and cryptocurrency. And he said, you know, he was in Amsterdam about to invest in this company, put an investment in this blockchain project. And he said, you know, he understands how it works. He understands that this is the future. But when he goes outside, it's not like he can use the cryptocurrency outside and buy cookies or whatever. But there are certain areas in Europe that use cryptocurrencies. And he says, so it's less than 1% market penetration, at least in 2017, less than 1%. You know, and people are making millions of dollars.
It's a small market. It's an emerging market.
It's emerging,
and it's it's like very like future.
It's
like
future.
Would you say it's the future of currency? Is it the future of money?
I believe so.
Some people believe so. Some people it'll work with what we have now, but with the current economy and how things are going, that it could. You know, it's there as almost like it could be a safeguard for when the economy falls.
Do you follow the international market?
A little bit, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, because I mean, how much penetration does it have in the international space? Is that 25 million spanning like domestic and
this is what
worldwide?
I do know. Out of the 25 million, they said that the average person has about $40 invested.
Okay.
The average everyday person has invested maybe $40.
Would you say most of the participants are concentrated like in the U.S. or?
That one I don't know.
Yeah.
All I know is that the market, this is the beginning.
Yeah.
This is, I consider it the basement. We haven't even hit the ground floor yet.
But people are investing.
I mean, some people are investing.
A very few amount of
some people are investing, but it's right in front of us.
In the grand scheme of things.
Right.
Okay. So couple things. One thing I want to make a point. I do agree that this is the future. I have a friend that works for the government, and they have a cryptocurrency department in the government. You know, so that just tells you, like, I tell you this, there's nothing that makes money that the U.S. government is not involved in, does not have its hand in. The U.S. government is the biggest business and the best business in the world.
I think government itself is. Absolutely. Because it has to be.
Absolutely. So we just want to summarize, because we kind of threw out a lot of big terms and threw out some numbers. So let's summarize it for the people real simple. So one is this is the future of currency. This is the future of money. This is where money's at. 2 is this is also a new emerging market, which means that this thing hasn't blown up yet, but it's on the cusp. It's right on the edge of blowing up. So anyone that gets in early has a great chance of swelling with that wave. And then 3, the average person only has $40 in it, so it doesn't take a lot of money to get started,
Right.
or do it. So EA, what would you say? Just give the people one quick point. Like, if you want to get started, what's the first thing someone should do to get their feet wet for cryptocurrency? We're gonna take this easy.
Before you even get your feet wet, I think the first thing you need to do is read.
Okay.
I think the first thing you need to do is read about cryptocurrencies, read about the technology, read about blockchain, and get an understanding of what that is. But I think the main thing is read. A lot of people aren't reading because everything's it's written for us. It's typed. It's on the internet.
Everything's out there, right?
But we need to
access everything.
read and get that knowledge on it. And then once you understand what you may, if you choose to, put your money in, then you can do that.
Okay, so we don't have to give any specific websites, but what's a good search or a good that somebody could throw in?
Just search
to read?
buy cryptocurrency, and you'll have you'll have like the top main companies because they run the market. They will pop up. I guess what I use, I guess I could say a name because that's an everyday one. You got Coinbase. Coinbase is the main one that I use to get started. And that's how I can buy. You can. I think there is an app. There is an app, so you can go and you can download Coinbase, Coinbase.com. But that's how I bought cryptocurrencies. That's how I got in. And then as you do that, you can learn about everything else. But the main thing I would say for anybody is just read about it, understand it, learn it. Learn about the technology.
Well, my pops would say, do your homework.
Pretty much.
Do your homework. Just do a little bit of homework on crypto. So it could change. You can make some real money. It could change your life.
Put it in a search engine.
It's an investment. So don't
put it
think
in a search engine.
Don't
so
think of it. I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
Don't think of it as I'm going to make money. I'm going to make $1 million overnight. It's an investment just like if you were to invest in the stock market. But because it's so new, it's very volatile. It's not stable. So that's what people like about it. That's why you see people making a lot of money. But just read. Investigate, and then
read. I call that my casino strategy. So my casino strategy My casino strategy is I go into the casino wanting to have a good time and make good use of my time, play for a while.
Right.
Okay. And I only pull out the amount of money that I'm willing to lose for the amount of time that I want to spend.
You're budgeting.
Right.
You're budgeting for your good experience.
Right. For my experience. Now, if I start winning and I'm up and I feel like walking away, then I walk away. Mm-hmm. But if I lose that, I'm not salty because I brought this money to lose. That's how you have to think of investing.
It's like responsible.
Right.
It sounds responsible.
So it's like you have $20 that you'll burn on something real basic. Why not throw that $20 into a cryptocurrency and see? If you got it to burn, you got it to lose, you can make a lot of money on it. So just think of it that way. That reminds me of a raw law. We at the halfway mark. We might as well give you a raw law. And I want to give y'all a raw law. And this raw law is chunk it out. Chunk it out. And it fits right in with what we're talking about. And that is when you have a major goal that you want to get accomplished, it's best to not plot your route from beginning to end, but plot it in shorter milestones. You make small,
chunk it
out, small incremental steps towards your goal. If you want to lose 30 pounds in 2 months, don't say you want to lose 30 pounds in 2 months. Say, I want to lose.
You set realistic goals for yourself.
Realistic goals. Say, I want to lose 3 pounds a week.
Yeah. I do that personally. So that works for
5 pounds a week.
Yeah. You just grow. And grow to it.
Yeah, and grow. And
it's like working out.
That doesn't sound like a lot. Right. You go to the gym trying to do everything on your first trip to the gym.
Yep.
You're going to be sore.
You're going to have an uncomfortable first week.
Uncomfortable 3 days.
Shock to the system.
Shock to the system. Yeah. You're probably not going to go back.
You're
going to go back for 2 weeks. and then you're gonna keep shocking your body and not get any progress. Go in there, do what you can till you get a little tired. Call it a day.
Be realistic.
Go the next day, do a little bit more. Chunk it out. People can change. We talked about this a while back. People can change, but you don't change overnight. Nothing dramatic just happens and you're just changed. You change little by little over time. You grow little by little over time.
I think you are what you practice doing.
Correct.
You know?
Correct. And what's that saying about what was that Malcolm Gladwell? If you put in
10,000 hours.
10,000 hours, you can master any craft.
Yeah.
So, you put enough time on anything.
You'll be pretty good at it.
Yep. so that was raw law number 9.
Chunk it out.
Chunk it out. All right. So now let's get into, I think it's going to be kind of a combination one. So get your tribe right is when we talk about what we're doing for the culture, what we need to
Culture?
talk about for the culture.
No.
Don't get him started.
Like my Soldier Boy voice. Culture?
And then get your mind right is, what you need to do to get for you. You're no good to the culture if you're not right yourself.
You're no good to nobody if you're not good yourself.
Period. Point blank. So, in that spirit, and we've already kind of brought it up and kind of touched on it. We've taken a break. It's been a while since we've been back on the air with you.
Good to be back, gentlemen.
It is great to be back.
Good to be with you.
There have been a lot of things that have happened. We've lost some people. We've lost some beautiful people in the time frame that we've been gone. And someone very significant. So first, before we get into that, I want to take a moment and I want to acknowledge and honor the lives and memory of DeWan Harrell and DeAnthony Tyree Henry. And send my condolences and love to their family and friends. And with that, it's no secret. I guess I would say like the hip hop community, or I'd say the rap community, or America, or like the culture as a whole.
Say what you feel, man. Like,
but like the world seemed to have lost someone that was major.
A lot of impact.
And that is Nipsey Hussle.
Neighborhood Nip.
Nipsey Hussle. So, first and foremost, rest in heaven, thoughts and prayers to all friends and family, everyone that's impacted. But for some reason, this loss had an extreme impact on the community, and just in media and culture in general, just had a huge impact, especially with Black folks. And I want to look at this objectively from the outside in, and just ask, what was different about Nipsey? What was different about this one? The story of a rapper being shot and killed in a violent way is not a new story.
Right.
I think and there are a lot of drug and suicide deaths last year. I think they said that the most rappers died in 2018.
Mac Miller. Right?
Yeah, Mac Miller.
Then
Triple X.
Yeah.
Triple X was shot. That seemed to have a huge impact at the time. But for some reason, Nipsey, when Triple X was shot, Triple X, XXX Tentacion, when he was shot, he had 2 #1 albums. They were both 2 albums out at the same time, #1, before he was shot and killed. So he was pretty much a household name, or close to a household name. Nipsey had a huge impact, and I had more people coming to me asking me who Nipsey was and why about Nipsey. Like I had actual elders, asking me about Nipsey because they saw and seen so much impact. So I guess from the outside looking in, what was it about this rapper?
I think you can look at it from the standpoint of his music. And if you listen to all his mixtapes before he released his debut album last year, you could hear his progression in life. So you heard him coming from the street, and then by the time you get to his new, his album, now you can hear him talking to the people, the young folks who listen to his music, and not even just the young folks, just people who listen to his music, like, make a million while you're young, and I think he made it's almost like he made grinding cool, like the grinding, going for your goals cool, at least in my opinion.
Self-empowerment and self-determination.
But it was the way he was saying it. I mean, people say it all the time, it's cool to do this. It's cool to do good in school and all that. But he, his approach, and I guess coming from the level of, hey, I understand where you're all coming from. I understand what you're dealing with. I understand these streets. But with all that, you can still be smart. You can still, want to be a scientist. You can still want to be an electrical engineer or a computer programmer. You can still want to learn about like cryptocurrencies and still, I guess, be cool, be who you are. I think that's the main thing. He was like, be who you are. Being who you are is cool. I mean, and maybe that's coming from a standpoint. I don't know, a standpoint. It's so many different things.
Right. But I guess I feel like, to be honest, I feel like his music, I feel like his music was well known by
people who listen to rap music.
Yes.
Right.
Real rap fans,
right,
and real gangster fans, gangster rap music, and like his region.
Is that a big population of people, do you think? I think it's a smaller population.
I think it's a small population.
The group that you're talking about.
Yes.
Did you follow Nipsey for a long? I follow Nipsey since he kind of like, I follow rap, so like, and hip hop. So I saw him come out. All the documents.
Sure. The marathon.
He's been very consistent human being.
Yeah, for about 15 years or so.
And I think that's what has to do with his level of impact. I think consistency, helps you grow your impact.
Sure.
And you saw him grow too.
Sure. Yeah. And so I'm a fan of hip hop too, so I can't say that, I can't say I kept Nipsey in heavy rotation.
I did.
I had,
I kept him in
a handful of, I had a handful of projects that his that I really liked, or a handful of songs that I really messed with of his. But I kept my ear to the, I saw his progression, kind of like, another example, like I'm not a big Wiz Khalifa fan, but I remember watching the evolution of Wiz Khalifa. I remember when he was kind of more,
he's one of my favorite artists,
Pittsburgh gangster grimy, and then kind of evolved into his whole persona.
He's on a Oreo commercial now, with his son. Yep.
So I've watched the evolution of his career as well, but I couldn't say that I'm a big Wiz Khalifa fan, or I listen to a whole lot of Wiz Khalifa. So that's where I was. But what I'm saying is, even Wiz Khalifa is, in my opinion, is more well known than Nipsey was.
I agree.
Before he passed. And so what I'm saying is, I feel like, if we're gonna be honest, if we're gonna be real and honest here, like, more people found out who Nipsey was after he died.
In his passing.
I agree.
In his passing, right?
I agree.
And so the question again is it, I guess maybe that's what it is. Is it because, so I think there's a trend that when someone passes away, everyone goes, oh, this person got, and I don't know much about this, and I'm gonna go Google it and search it and seek it out. So is it that what they saw or what they found when they sought it out was so different than the norm that's why it had an impact? Or is it that I'm trying to understand why this one was so impactful?
I think sounds like you're trying to be I think political scientist.
Well, I think
social science.
One of the things is that I think people saw him, in essence, his first album came out last year.
Right.
He was literally just about to blow.
He was on the verge.
He was on the verge of greatness.
Of greatness.
Verge of greatness. He's always been great. If you you see all these things documented about him. But this was like, he had made it to the, Grammy nominated album at first time. And he was about to blow up. He got his store in Crenshaw. He's helping open schools and stuff. Like, this was just the beginning.
Sure.
And I think for him to get killed in front of his store, I think it it was something about that. That was like kind of like damn, like he was right there. He was right there.
I feel what you're
You know what I'm
saying.
saying? Like,
I feel what you're saying.
you know,
Yeah.
he was right there.
He was about to bust.
Yeah, and not just in the and not just in music,
but like
all the way around.
he,
Yeah,
he,
exactly.
He evolved. He was in his
community.
Very
He's
maturated.
Overseas. I mean, and he's very knowledgeable. You know, he's like, and it was just like, and he was taken, you know, by his own community that he was trying to serve.
I mean, he invested not only in crypto, but he invested in his community, and he reaped those investments. That's from a real like community grassroots, way of being and being able to connect.
He was the model. That's what he was the model.
He was
getting the folks who nobody would give a chance because they had been in prison or whatever. They had felonies.
Real grassroots.
And bringing them in and saying, "Hey, folks, I understand you've been through this. This is how we do it. This is how we're going to do it. This is how we're going to make it. Let me show y'all."
Now, my earlier point about Barack Obama, he was grassroots also. And we didn't know that. The black community didn't know that. This gave him some credibility until the mainstream media, it blew it up, gave him some marketing, until he spoke at the Democratic National Convention and people started asking, who is this Barack Obama guy? Right? Then they dug into his history. And he already had a connection there in the Chicago area neighborhoods as a grassroots organizer, sort of like what Nipsey Hussle earned in the Crenshaw district. And so, if you stay committed and real like that, I think you're going to have a good amount of impact that matters to you. Sort of like Kendrick Lamar kind of has it too, being from Compton, but being Grammy winning. He's still humble.
I was gonna say like this would. I think the equivalent of this is like if Kendrick had been shot right after Good Kid, Mad City came out. Right after like Swimming Pools. He had just won the Grammy and performed at the Grammys, and now he's.
But Nipsey has another dimension too, because he had the respect of gang culture in LA, and Kendrick is not. He's affiliated, but he wasn't a tiny Loke, a tiny Pyru like
and then
that's
on
a big
top of
culture.
That, he has the respect of the business world and entrepreneur world and the investing world. He has the respect.
He was
of
in
that.
many avenues.
He has that, and then on top of that, he has the respect and admiration of the health community because he was an advocate. Nipsey, because he's an advocate for veganism. So again, I'm giving the dimensions.
He's in a lot of dimensions.
So Nipsey had the street credibility. He had the artistic credibility as a rapper, as an artist. He had the grind credibility for grinding up in the evolution, right?
Right.
Then he had the business entrepreneur credibility, right?
Yeah, he's in a lot of lanes.
Then he had the health credibility for being an advocate of veganism and eating healthy, healing yourself through foods. Then we did an episode about this. Then he's got the black love credibility because he's got the strong relationship with a celebrity black woman.
Well, and his lyrics speak to that too. So he has a lot of disciples.
So different levels.
Yeah.
So I guess the aftermath, we know what's happening in the aftermath. In the aftermath, a lot of people who didn't know about Nipsey Hussle have been educated about Nipsey Hussle, and they've been educated about all these dimensions that we've just spoke on. Correct, and also. Gang violence has pretty much ceased.
Yeah,
in California, in the LA area.
Yeah, somebody wrote on it was on either Instagram or Twitter or something that you have somebody influential or impactful. When you have like the LA people from the LAPD mourning, Nipsey Hussle. He said you've never seen a time where the Crips and the Bloods and the LAPD are all like in one place, on one thing.
Yeah, or seemingly so. I think this is all, this is still early. And I think that, if you don't have a person who continues that relationship,
Right.
then relationships it's like a garden that needs to be pruned and tended to, right? And Nipsey earned that by way of being in the streets, those respect. Will it stay ceased? I don't know.
But I think he earned the respect of the police by the positive works that he did in the community.
Well,
so he I feel like he
bridged
that gap.
But
of course, whether or not
impact,
not it could be maintained is another question, and we'll see. I think the point that I like to get to with this is that, I mentioned people that in my personal life and people close to me in their personal life that have passed on. There are a lot of people that are still in shock and just a lot of pain about Nipsey passing and how he passed. So the title of this episode and what this episode is taking the L. And so taking the L and your first thought is taking the loss, taking the loss and how you deal with loss. And everyone has to deal with loss differently and grief in their own way. And of course, far be it from us to tell you how to deal with your loss or process anything. But we just want to give you some game or help get your mind right in dealing with loss, because as being a human being on this earth, we all have to deal with loss at a certain point. And so how the Grits and Glory crew views taking the L or taking a loss, and y'all correct me if I'm wrong, is we don't look at it as the L is not taking the loss. The L is taking the lesson.
It's a learning opportunity. It's for learning.
Every loss, every experience, everything that happens negative to you, it gives you the opportunity to learn and adjust and grow. And so as much as it hurts to lose Nipsey, we are all better and more educated and more thoughtful about the things that he represented because he is no longer here. And that's not to justify or say that it was a good thing. That's just to take the lesson from the situation. If you don't want Nipsey's death to be senseless, because it was senseless violence that took him, then carry on that man's legacy, carry on the lessons, carry on the values and the principles that he stood for and he laid out.
Well, I would encourage folks to look him up. If you don't know who he is, because we touched on how much impact he had by way of record sales. See what the man was saying in his art, and then know that he was impacting his community, and that's what I think the epitome of artistry is that you need to impact where you came from, and hopefully people can take from it what helps them grow. But interesting man, Google him.
Definitely.
There's a lot of good he did a lot of interviews and stuff in the past 7 years or so. He had a lot to say. He had a lot of insight on a lot of things that are going on in our society, and whether it be money or government. He was real. He was on it. He was on it. I think he was actually very smarter than a lot of people didn't know. I don't know if that makes sense. Like people didn't know to the level of.
He was deep, man. He's a deep, and there's a lot of people like that. I know a lot of people like that don't get just due in the community, and I think it's natural that people will mourn you more than they pay attention to or give you love when you're alive.
Sure,
I think that's a part of the human condition somehow. But it's. So give people their just due while they're here too, Yep. But Nipsey, that victory lap is fire.
Yeah, and go back listen to it. So his streams are up. Go back and
Victory
listen
lap is
to Victory
fire.
Lap. Listen, there's the Crenshaw project that's available on Apple.
Yeah.
Go back and get all his music. Let his music live on, and just take the lessons and the values that maybe you weren't hip to him, and now. This put him on your radar. So look him up, take those lessons and values, and try to, when you're dealing with any type of loss, try to take the lesson from the situation. And the lesson may not be, the lesson may be just to value someone's presence, or the lesson may be, to be thankful for the time that you had.
Take some time.
But we don't take, when we take L's, we don't take losses, we take these lessons and then we apply them and use them to become better.
So we get learnings, not losses.
Learnings and lessons, yeah. Just it can be an L. Taking that life, man. You know what I mean? And when losses peaks and valleys, losses are a part of life. So taking life to the face.
Learning from it is what you got to do. Yeah. Pause. Dude.
Yeah. Fair enough, my friend.
He said to the face.
So, all right, let me throw out something else. Just a wild concept. So, just a real wild concept that kind of struck me. I think somebody said this. Like, I believe somebody. I didn't watch I heard that a lot of. I watched a couple clips. I've heard a lot of things about his. His celebration of life, his funeral, if you will, was a big event, and there are a lot of people that spoke and performed and said a lot of things that were meaningful and impactful. And I think someone said this there or alluded to this, and I think I saw an article that Jermaine Dupri may have alluded to something along these lines. But I was thinking about the fact, if you just think about the arc of the situation, and you just look at him as a man, you look at the situation. So there was a man that lived a life full of principle that was kind of a different way of living and different way of principles than everyone else in his environment around him. And then he was able to build a following and followers out of everyone around him to adapt and take on that lifestyle and that way of living. And he had a significant amount of impact while he was alive. But then he died unexpectedly and as a young man.
And at 33. Is that where you going with this?
And as a young man. He did die at the age of 33.
Oh man, are we going out?
And as a young man. And after he died, now everyone recognizes and is aware of his truth, of his word, of his gospel.
Is it could because human people, humanity is slow? I mean, is it? Can we just say it because we slow, bro? Like, is he Jesus or are we slow?
No, I'm not. No,
like, what are you talking about?
No, I'm not gonna say.
We just slow to pick up. We don't know about cryptocurrency.
I'm just saying. I'm not saying that Nipsey is Jesus, but is that not?
Kind of sounds like it.
I'm not saying he is Jesus. I'm saying is that not like Jesus?
Is he kind of
is
like
that
Jesus
not
like?
the same story? Is that not the same arc?
Joshua ben Joseph.
Is that was his name? That was his Hebrew name?
I think so. Yeah.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Joshua of Joseph.
Okay. Of Joseph, and I think
Ben.
What's Nipsey's
legal
name?
No. This is Eshkadon.
Eshkadon.
Aramis.
I don't want to mess up his name.
But isn't it Aramis?
Yeah.
Joseph?
I don't know if it was. I don't know.
Oh, in the middle, his middle name was
His middle name was Joseph.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So
well, that's good. Do with that. Well, let's connect those dots. Then. Is that what you're trying to?
No, listen, I'm not saying
he's a deep dude. He had a lot of healing qualities like Jesus.
Don't build a church around the man.
But was that what Jermaine Dupri was saying? No,
I believe I saw an article that said that Jermaine Dupri said that Nipsey Hussle was Jesus reincarnated.
That's what Jermaine Dupri said?
Yes.
Yeah. Isn't he from like the South? Isn't that like blaspheme?
And I guess I don't know. So what I'm saying is, people.
He had that. Do you think he had that impact?
It's yet to be seen.
Will his name last 2,000 plus years?
We have to wait 2,000 plus
that's
years.
how. I mean, is the marketing that strong?
We'll have to wait 2,000 plus years. Well, it's not the marketing because this is.
I think it is.
This is pure impact. This is pure just people feeling this. People right making a connection.
For me, I see what you're saying, but I mean, everything. How long do you think this impact is going to last? I think.
I don't know.
I hope.
But I know this is different than is different than
any of the other ones.
And honestly. Yes, this is different than any other loss in the black community.
Okay.
In regards to hip hop,
I think it is. Yes. I think it's different.
Hip hop. I mean, hip hop.
We're in a different time.
Not black community.
We're in a different time too.
Yeah.
We look like my daughter told me. You were born in the 19s.
In the 19s.
The 19s.
Like you. She goes. You from the 19s.
You from the 19s.
Like they're born information at their fingertips. I had to go to the library, bro.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
for people to
Dewey
know,
Decimal System.
like Nipsey Hussle got his rap career started because of the internet. Like, his exposure started because he could spread his message in a way that my daughter has a YouTube channel.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
That's what I'm saying. We born in the 19s, bro.
Born in
like,
the 19s.
it's different because of that. And I had a chance to go to Saudi Arabia, and I saw Tupac spray painted on property over there. Now, you know how strict the laws are over there? Like, people risk capital punishment to spray Tupac, and I thought that was impactful.
Sure, but
he was born before he was born in the 19s.
Who's not to say that 2,000 years from now, Tupac is not a sphinx or something?
Well, I don't know. I'm
there's
just
not
saying
a
it's
church
different,
of Tupac.
All I'm saying is it's a different impact,
right? Or
it's
a
different
temple
impact.
or a temple of Biggie or a temple of Nipsey.
Well, I think it's I'm saying I agree
Right.
with you. I'm just saying it's different because we're in a different time,
Sure,
and
But I
exposure
think-
happens differently.
but I guess what I'm saying is in this disposable news cycle where something is big
hot
news
1 week and not the
hot
next.
for a week,
Yeah.
and then no
still-
one pays
This has been
attention to
going
it
on for
after
almost
that.
a month.
Remember when the community was wearing hoods
For Trayvon,
for
or something?
Trayvon Martin?
Sure,
Wear the hoods.
sure,
Now,
sure.
Where, I mean,
But what I'm saying
things
is
become
this Nipsey thing feels deeper and different and seems to have a more lasting impact.
we'll see.
So we will see.
We'll see.
Time will tell.
I know I felt lost
Sure.
because I've been following this brother.
And here's the thing. And I didn't bring up the Jesus analogy to say, oh, Nipsey could be Jesus or anything like that. I brought up the Jesus analogy to just make the point that, you want to follow the things and believe the things you believe in for the right reasons. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter the details about the man. It matters what he stood for and what he brought.
Right.
And so, there are a lot of Christians that don't act Christ-like or like Jesus, and there are a lot of people who are not Christian that are very Jesus-like and Christ-like. So on the same token, again, talking about taking the L, take the lesson from the situation. We want to just
Learn from this.
So we're getting close on time. We need to go ahead and get ready to wrap. But
Was that a double entendre rap?
I guess so.
Yeah.
I guess so. All right.
Dang,
we
you
did
ready,
that.
bro?
Ready for the next freestyle.
Oh.
So, man, this was a dope podcast. Please look up Google Nipsey. Remember, Raw Law number 9. Chunk it out. And
Tiger Woods, y'all.
And
It's
when
all
you,
good,
it's all
y'all.
good, Tiger Woods.
y'all.
And when you take that L, just know that there's something for you to learn from it. There's a lesson that's going to come after the pain if you can just focus on it and make that happen.
And you can sum that up with Tiger Woods. He taking L's, but he learned from it.
I guess so.
He back on
I guess
top.
it is Tiger Woods. We still love him. He can still come
L's
to
for love, too.
Always can still come to the barbecue. Love and life and all that good stuff. So, SB, any last words?
No, that's it, man. Tiger Woods.
All right.
All good, brothers. Good talking with you again.
Absolutely. Grits and Glory is the pod. We're going to hit you with another freestyle here in a minute. And EA, why don't you take us on out and tell the people what they need to do?
I'll go out here and try and be the best human beings you can be.
Do
Word.
it.
We out.
Peace.
I feel good. I feel good. I feel good. Past the 9 wood. It's all good. Tiger Woods, y'all. It's all good, y'all. Tiger Woods, y'all. It's all good, y'all. Tiger Woods, y'all. It's all good, y'all. Tiger Woods, y'all. Hey, shout out to Tiger Woods and my people. He said he not black just like Mike Tirico. But that's okay, cause we see you like the eyes of an eagle. We know where your people from, fool. And we still got you. When you win, we still rock you. When you say you ain't black, then we not you. That's alright, we stay with you when you hot, fool. That's how we do and have fun. Grits and Glory when we came to get it done. Episode 23 and we won, but we know how to take an L so you can take one. Not talking about a law, talking about a lesson. I make it hot like a Smith & Wesson in the hand of a convicted felon.
Ooh.
So you don't want to do that, they'll bust your melon. And ain't no telling, we don't snitch and we come through with the switch. Talking about Nintendo, not talking about that other stuff. Told y'all don't want to knuckle up. Grits and Glory, go and buckle up. We had to take the L, that means love and stuff. Love, life, and lessons. Rest in peace and Nipsey, don't stress it.
So,
Hey,
that was- that was pretty good, man.
Oh, good, y'all. Tiger Woods, y'all. Oh, good. Oh, one thing.
keep on.
In the spirit of balance and everything, I gave a shout out to some fallen soldiers, but there's balance in life, and so there's also new lives in the world. So we want to dedicate this podcast episode to Mr. Aslan Johnson and my young Rodney Tripp, young babies born into this world. So we love y'all.
Bless them.
Blessings to your lives. Grits and Glory is the pod. We out.
Peace.
Peace.